Hey guys, Youngblood with you for a Should You Buy video on the newly released in-concept MISC Prospector. Now we got our first look at this ship in a teaser yesterday, and I have to say that based on looks alone, I'm really interested in this ship. Now you can tell that this ship is MISC as the design is almost a combination of some aspects of the Starfarer, some of the Reliant, and some of the Freelancer, but the Prospector is bigger than I initially expected it to be, but not by a whole lot. It's 8 meters shorter in length than the Freelancer at 24 meters long. It's the same width and 1 meter shorter in height at 7 meters tall. However, based on the utilities that you have on board and the included tougher armor, the ship ends up weighing in at 4,000 kilograms heavier than the Freelancer at 30,000 kilograms. Now, they made a special mention of the durable hull, which is a very good thing to have, not only for protection against debris, but also a ship doing mining solo could be a target for bandits. So having that extra protection to help you run off is pretty important. Now, the Prospector has some really neat things going for it, including some cargo ability through 4 saddlebags that are kind of slung on the side of the ship, which is a good thing considering that some of the early indications made it sound like it was a possibility that you could have 0 to very little cargo space. In fact, that cargo space ends up adding up to 128 SCU where it stands today. Now keep in mind that, you probably, or I guess these are probably at least somewhat specialized for carrying ore. So until we get to Q&A, we may not know if you're able to strap a store-all box on there, but I would kind of count on it not being able to be done. That being said, this is a dedicated mining platform, so that's what you really need. Now, probably the most exciting aspect of this ship to me is that once you've filled up one of these saddlebags, which expand, you can end up detaching it in space or on the planet side, and you can have up to 8 spare containers that begin to fill and expand as you end up mining more ore. And I think this is a huge design decision that really makes it working as a team a real benefit, especially if you've got transporters. And it's a really exciting proposition and something I'm incredibly excited about because you can do your mining, work with a teammate who can pick up the ore and haul it off for you. The Prospector is designed and sold as a ship capable of running mining operations all by yourself, and it has some tools and abilities to kind of help you do that. That's going to include some GN technology built into it, specifically around the VTOL thrusters that are going to allow you to have stability while doing mining operations, and some nice precise control of your movements while navigating what should be some pretty dangerous asteroid and debris-filled space. Also, considering that you're breaking off small pieces of rock, you should have nice control of the ship to be able to maneuver and capture what you need. Additionally, under the ship you have an upgraded scanner, which means that you can see further than with standard options, meaning that you're not spending time flying around in concentric circles trying to find your mining targets. Now, it's not going to end up comparing to the Orion, which really specializes in long-range scanning, but it probably is better than different options that you may have otherwise, and these sensors can provide you a detailed analysis of an asteroid and give you a visualization of where the richest pockets are, so you know where to start mining with less trial and error. As far as actual mining is concerned, you've got a retractable mining laser that can help you get into tighter spaces and be a little bit more precise and really get you into harder to reach places. The operation of mining is all conducted from the cockpit, which I really like because if you do get into trouble, you're able to just kick into flight mode quicker than having to run up to the cockpit to try and plan your escape. The design of this ship is actually really sleek, and I think it makes a lot of sense as far as moving through these asteroid fields, and it's a nice difference from that standard Freelancer cockpit. Now in this ship you get this bubble cockpit to allow you to see things in a more panoramic view. Mining in dangerous conditions almost makes this a necessity, and I'm glad to see that they kind of took some inspiration from like the Reliant cockpit and made it present within the Prospector. Now, where this starts to really differ from a ship like the Orion is that the Orion platform is capable of breaking up an entire asteroid, while the Prospector is going to rely much more on finding small pockets that you can easily access. The Orion also requires a full team to get the job done, and it's going to do larger scale mining, whether that be with buddies or NPCs, while the Prospector can do it all with one person. The Orion's also so big that it mostly is going to need to orbit around the mining target, but the Prospector can actually end up landing on asteroids to mine deeper into the surface. Now, one huge difference we see between the Prospector and the Orion is that the Prospector has the ability to land on the surface of a planet and conduct mining operations there, and can do some scanning of the planet as well as try and find the best locations before even heading down to the surface. That provides a huge value to this ship and makes it very different to me than the Orion is. Now, as far as the specs are concerned, it has 2 TR3 main engines, 2 TR2 maneuvering thrusters, and 10 TR1 maneuvering thrusters. Now, there's a lot that we don't know at this point, like max shield size and max power plant size, but I have to imagine that they're at least adequate to provide protection in the intended role, and then as well as actually giving energy for the systems that you're going to be using. And the weaponry is extremely limited with 2 size 1s on the nose, and that's a design decision that I really like. I think it's so focused on its industrial role that they didn't get carried away with just slapping lasers on it for the sake of it. This ship is purpose-built for the task at hand, which is mining, and you really shouldn't expect it to be good at anything other than a small mining ship. The Prospector is going for $140, and the sale runs through May 2nd. So getting to the most important aspect of this video, my recommendation on should you buy this ship. For me, when I look at this ship and what it's capable of and the price range it's at, I say yes. It's a bigger ship than I expected with some distinct differences from the Orion that make it a really attractive option for mining, even if you have an Orion. Mining's likely going to be a job with a high skill ceiling, but if you can get good at it and you've got explorers working with you to help you try and find what you need, then by all means, this could be a very profitable career. It's said to be hard, it's not supposed to be easy, but I think there's a possibility for good money here. Now, if you were turned off by the Orion size or crew requirements or the cost, then the Prospector is a ship that you need to take a close look at. Now, all of this comes with one very important caveat, and that's that you should only buy this ship if you want to mine, because frankly, there isn't much else it's going to be good at. But if mining is your game or something you at least want to explore, then this is definitely a ship that you need to consider, and it's one that definitely gets my seal of approval. The design, the technology, the utilities, it's all very cool. And I'm either going to be upgrading my Avenger to this or melting something else for it because I see value here and I think it's something that I want to make sure that I can make videos of as well. But before we wrap this up, I wanted to let you guys know that my organization, PXP, is running a giveaway through our Twitter account. So if you're interested in potentially winning a Prospector, all you need to do is become a follower of the PXP Twitter handle at PXPOfficial. And anyone, PXP or otherwise, is able to participate. And then on May 14th, we're going to be doing a drawing of a random Twitter follower, and that person's going to end up walking away with a shiny new Prospector. So it's very cool, nothing you really need to do. It's exciting, just get in on it because you can. Outside of that, I wanted to let you all know that I'll be doing a follow-up video on the Q&A docs that are going to be released. But if you have questions in the meantime, put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them as soon as possible. Otherwise, stay tuned for a whole lot more content. I appreciate you guys watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day and take care.